So, we need to talk about OnlyFans again. If you saw my previous video, you noticed I spent a lot of time talking about marketing forces in the OnlyFans industry, I guess you could call it, and how I don't really think that its existence itself is justified in its nature. The reason why, if you didn't catch that video, is because you're paying young ladies to provide for you content that is oftentimes subpar and not worth the money nor the price of admission, but also because I don't think that you should have to give people money to give them something that mutually benefits them to begin with. And my attention to you in and of itself should be enough for you, young lady, if you're not doing anything special in your content creation. That's how I personally feel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about simps once again because they are the main driving force of this. Not every guy that buys this content I would classify as a simp, because they're not. Doing my research, some of the guys that they also have the same gripes that I have as well, reading some of their comments on Reddit or different forum posts. Not every, some of these guys are just connoisseurs, I guess you could say, as in they just enjoy looking at the content. But it's the guys who are willing to pay the exuberant amount, the guys who are clamoring for intimacy. They're the real lifeblood of these women. Now, of course, I've talked about, sympathy for the simp, and I do understand a lot of where they're coming from, and I find them to be rather contemptible individuals. But this is going to be a huge addition to that last video I was talking about when I'm saying the reason. Here's another reason why I don't think OnlyFans as an industry should exist. So let me first explain why I understand why it's a thing for some particular, let's say, you say porn stars, I guess you could say, or really popular women who have done pornography. One of the biggest issues with porn, as for workers, well, there's lots of issues, but one of the issues is that they don't really get residual funds for the work that they've done. And it's a little obvious why, because it's nowadays it's mostly a digital product, and it's not even just digital product, but it's a niche product. It's not syndicated, so there's not a lot of advertisements that can be ran on reruns that offer the money to actors who are in mainstream productions that give them their residual checks as stuff are rerun and played over and over again on any syndication or any type of network. Porn stars get paid for the product then and there, and then that's that. They don't get any more money after that. And while it's true, a lot of them can get $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 sometimes. They can get a large lump sum quickly right then and there. That's all they get ever. And this content exists forever. Anyone can obtain, anyone can distribute it, and they don't get anything back from that. So I can understand why, from that point of view, if you are a porn star, if you have been in porn and you've done that for quite some period of time, why you would move on to a subscription-based service. Why would you move on to a subscription-based service, you may ask? So you keep getting residual income, so you can create content once and be constantly paid for it as time goes on, as you continue to go on, and you can add more content then and get more money, more subscribers there, so that way you create a passive income that keeps giving you money as time goes on. From a purely business point of view, that makes sense. It really does. If you're already been into porn, you've already built a huge network of people that like you anyway. Or I wouldn't say network of people, but a fan base of people. That's OnlyFans. I get that. That makes sense. Okay? So if you're an established porn creator already, and you create an OnlyFans to create a passive residual income in order to replace the fact that you don't want to do these long-standing productions and that the porn industry has, and the porn industry has its own wealth of issues anyway, and you can control the creation of your content more with your OnlyFans and your premium Snapchats, just consider that all to be the same thing. That makes sense from a purely business point of view. I get that 100%. No issue there. But when normal girls who decide to get on Twitch start trying to create their OnlyFans to start selling lewds, and then create a Patreon so they can start selling nudes for $70. And here, let me throw you guys up an example of this right here. Then it's okay, take a chill pill, sister. Take a chill pill. You have a nice butt. Really, you do. If you have a nice butt. But $70, nigga? Like, what? What? I just spit there. What? Like, come on! What is that? What is that, man? Come on! Like, again, porn stars. I get it. After years of being in porn, I get it. I get it. Normal ladies. And the thing that kind of kills me about this one girl in particular is I saw her post, and this is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to make this video. She actually said that after she started doing this stuff, she tweeted something out there, and obviously in post-production I'll remember what she said specifically, but I'm currently recording this now, and you guys will read it because I'll throw it up. But she said she was able to start paying back her student loan debt based on like her OnlyFans, or based on her Patreon, based on the money that she was making online, showing off her massive butt. And then I sat there for a second like, I mean, dude, you do realize you just clown the educational system, right? Like, you just straight clown college so hard. All that money that you made back to pay off your student loans, you could have just skipped even getting the student loans and had just started showing your ass on the internet from the beginning. You could have just done that from the beginning. You could have just done absolutely nothing but exist from the beginning. You played yourself. You played yourself so hard, it's ridiculous. And then you played the educational system. You played the college system because they spent time and resources training you to just do nothing but show your ass on the internet. Just, I mean, I don't know. That's its own topic. But hopefully you guys are like you're getting my point here now, right? She's a cute girl. She might be a nice girl. $70? Dude, come on, man. Like, $15? Come on, man. Like, come on, dude. Come on. Like, you're not that damn special. And that's the thing that's getting me about these girls, is they are starting to be gassed up and feel like they're special when they're really not. Because, listen, here's the thing. As much as I like a nice ass, as much as I like a nice fat ass, really I do, that doesn't give you worth and value, dude. Like no one should have to pay you money to see that ass. Like, what we should have to pay is time, commitment, affection, love, you know, so we can start creating families and what. I mean, you guys, you know, if this is the first time you see my channel, you probably are not familiar with the meme that I am, but like, I mean, I'm all about creating families, and I feel like it's time invested that should reward you with like sexual exclusivity. It shouldn't be money invested or like $15 given here and there. So that's the thing. There's another good example I wanted to throw out here. But we're supposed to be talking about the simps who even allowed any of this stuff to happen. So the first thing I wanted to do, and the reason why I had to explain all that before we got on to like the simps and the people paying money into this, is so you guys can understand why I think that like for porn stars, OnlyFans makes a lot of sense for them wanting to create a passive residual income based on their efforts. That makes total sense. Normal women who went straight to college using their asses to pay back their student loans is some freaking silliness, okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, normal women who just ended up having a big butt, who just post pictures on Instagram and then get an OnlyFans to do nothing with it, that's what I'm getting at, okay? So I wanted to make that distinction there. So now let's talk about these simps, right? So why do simps like exist? Like, why are they a thing? Now, simps are actually the cousins of incels. There's the only difference between the simp and the incel is that the incel has given up and is self-aware. The simp is delusional, and he only believes that his money will somehow get him into a relationship. So he understands the simple lizard basic urge of females, so much so that if I give them money, I will get attention. He understands that simple, you know, quid pro quo type of thing. But the problem is he does not understand that that is not true intimacy, because the truth of the matter is with this type of industry of OnlyFans, what they're really selling is intimacy. That's what they're selling. That's why it's OnlyFans. It's in the name. OnlyFans. Only people who like me can talk to me and support me. That's it. I'm not, you know, it's not profound. Having the ability to message these women and talk to them is the selling point. Having the ability to contact them and create custom videos is the sell. They want personal stuff. These guys are invested in these women. Now, what is the problem there psychologically? There's a lot of problems there psychologically. If you're invested in a virtual woman that you cannot meet, then it prevents you from investing in real women. If you're putting your resources or your time and your attention and trying to create a full power relationship with some girl on the internet that doesn't even care about you, which means, and that's the thing, these girls, they don't care. And we'll get to that in just a second. If you're spending all your time investing into these women, you can't invest in your own family. You can't invest in your own personal relationship. You can't invest even in yourself because you're focusing too much and trying to get some return from a woman that doesn't even like you. And the thing is, and here's what the problem becomes. The problem becomes you're basically chasing a carrot on a stick. Because while she might pat you on the head, while she might give you sweet nothings, while she might give you a comment here and there, she'll never actually be able to invest right back into you because you are one of a million. Like literally one of a million followers on her Instagram or on her Twitter. That's what you are. You can never obtain it. And see, and that's the reason why a part of me cannot, I dislike them, but a part of me can't have this hatred or this same disgust people have for simp-like behaviors because I can see what they are. They are lonely men who want women. And of course, men, like every man wants a woman. Unless you're, even homosexuals want women in their lives. Okay, well, some homosexuals actually, it's actually kind of funny. Some of them actually have quite the biting criticisms of women, which is really hilarious to me. But I don't know. It's just a random thought I had. I remember I was talking to this one gay person about it. Anyhow, specifically on this, most men want women. Okay, with the exception of homosexuals. So it's not profound. But the problem is when you start invoking this on the internet, wanting to get that intimacy is something you'll never be able to possibly obtain just in its nature. And the truth of the matter is, on the female side of it, it's just not possible. It's just not possible to even attempt or try to foster relationships with so many different people. You will be stretched thin. You will be exhausted. There's no way that you can really invest or even care about all of these people. So the problem is the very industry in and of itself is a beautiful lie. It's a beautiful lie. It's a beautiful scam. It really is a straight up scam because you want to get intimacy, you want to feel special, but you never will because it's just not even feasibly possible for that lady to see you as anything more than just some fucking anime weeb on Twitter giving her money. Or just some random guy that she's never met giving her money. You're a paycheck. That's what you are. And she's praying. And here's something, and this is where it kind of becomes a little bit malicious. This is where it kind of becomes a little bit nefarious from the female's point of view. And this is why I don't understand how anyone can be okay with it. Well, I can't understand it, but this is why I think it should be talked about a little bit more. And that is the fact that, especially Belle Delphine actually really does this. She does this to a T. It's kind of scary. It's kind of eerie actually, because she will literally tell people that she cares about them, that she wants them, that he only has her now. I've seen like a couple of videos like this or a couple of examples. If I can find the examples of videos I'm thinking about, I'll slide it up here for you guys to see. But she is a girl who will literally whisper these sweet nothings to guys to coax them back in and get them to give her money. Like it sounds pretty movie-esque. Like it sounds like I'm describing the plot of a movie, but it's real life. And these girls are doing that, and they are manipulating these men into giving them more resources and more time to them, even if it is at their own detriment. If I can find that Belle Delphine clip, I will definitely post it up so you guys can see that. Now, the thing is, if we move forward from just that, they're wanting of intimacy and their ability of like never even able to obtain it. The problem is a lot of these guys are gassing these women up for them to believe that their value is more than they really actually are. And then it also kind of skews what they value in relationships to begin with. A lot of these girls get gassed up to a point where they only believe that like certain guys that have enough money to give them are then worth their time. So a lot of these girls treat money and your status straight up like it's your anime power level. It's like straight up, bro. Like they got their scouters on. They're from the fucking Frieza Force with their scouters on, checking your bank account to see if you got a bank account high enough to even attempt to talk to them, to touch their vagina. Like they walk down streets of gold. Their ego is inflated to an incredible and ridiculous degree that just will ultimately leave them miserable. So this is more for their sake than from the sake of the simp. Like from their point of view, they have set themselves up for failure. I've actually said this privately a lot, but status ruins women. Because if we want to invoke red pill terminology, we talk about hypergamy, the thing about women is women don't like going down when they date. And that can be any metric. Now the metric is usually status and money. The metric is usually that way, but it can be any metric. Women in this particular branch, in this particular area, they don't like going down. They want you to, and more than anything, they want to go up. Now, of course, this is self-defeating for lots of reasons. One, the only thing that's usually particularly special about some of these girls is they have big butts and they have pretty faces. Or they have a pretty face and they have a big butt. There's lots of girls like that. You're not really special. Especially if you're like in Miami, LA, or Atlanta. You're just not. And so the problem is they have a bunch of these simps, these orbiters, gassing them up and pushing them up in their mind, elevating them up in their narcissistic tendencies to make them think that they deserve more than what they realistically should. And deserve more isn't even the real thing, because by deserve more, they think a guy to give them more things. But really what makes a relationship, really what makes intimate, really what makes you happy is love and time invested. Love and time invested. It's me paying attention to you and giving you my life force. This is basically what it is. My time is my life force, my energy exerted. That is what makes a relationship worthwhile. But these women are not on that level anymore because they've become so materialistic. And because we have this parasitic relationship of the simp constantly gassing them up, they think that they're a lot better than what they really are. Or they deserve more money than what they really are. They basically have turned themselves into a product, a really, really high and expensive product that needs to be bought, rather than a person that needs to be talked to and even helped, maybe supported, and ultimately loved. These women have basically, in their own minds, turned themselves into a high-ticket product that they are marketing. And that is actually particularly dehumanizing in a lot of different ways, and that's what's going to lead us to the next video, where I talk a lot more about an issue that I find interesting that a lot of people aren't addressing, but I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to make a clown of myself in the next video. I got to do it. It's got to be done. We're going to talk about in the next video what happens when these girls turn themselves into a product. In conclusion of this video, the main issue with the simp, or the OnlyFans industry, I guess you could call it, is it's a gigantic scam in its nature. It's promising that you can obtain intimacy from this girl if you give her money. You can obtain time and attention from this girl if you pay her, if you give her stuff. The problem is, because there's so many different guys clamoring after one girl, it's just not feasible realistically. And more than that, it's oftentimes just straight up not even worth it, because some of these girls kind of have the like personality of a wet noodle. Like some of these girls, they are kind of terrible to talk to, and I know because I've talked to some of them. They kind of leave much to be desired in terms of critical thought. But the point is, that is why I'm not really a big fan of this industry. Ironically, I'm not a big fan of the OnlyFans industry, but I'm doing what other people won't do. I'm criticizing it and talking about it because a lot of people, they don't really seem to be understanding like why this is an issue. Like they don't really seem to be really grasping the problem of having a generation of men so browbeaten and lonely that they're going on the internet and just throwing money out to girls to give them nothing. Like these guys are just baking in their own loneliness, and if no one's helping them, then they're never gonna get better. And so my whole point in making this video is for that guy. If you're caught in this, my friend, if you feel this, my friend, you must understand that she does not care about you. She doesn't. You are a number, you are a username, you are just a thing. You have to recognize that, because otherwise you're going to be caught seeking validation from some other woman that will never care about you, rather than focusing on yourself, number one, and number two, focusing on fostering a real relationship to actually give you what you want and what you need in life. That is why videos like these need to be created, to help these guys wake up and see, not by calling you terrible person. It's just, you're not really a terrible person, but you have to understand you can't get what you want from this. This is pseudo, it's fake, it's not real. You have to break away from that and recognize that, my friend. That's why I made this video. With that being said, I just hope you guys got something out of today's video, and if you did, man, go and click the like button. Make sure you go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.